My name is Mohammad Ahmadi. I graduated in 2020 from the Bush School with MPSA degree. And after that, I applied for a PhD program. I study a PhD in the intersection of policy and AI. And on top of that, I work as a research assistant with Rand Corporation. So my story is a little bit different. When I graduated from, like the time that we graduated from the Bush School, it was COVID. And I had this research, like assistantship, research assistant at Rand and PhD flow doctor at Parley Rand School. I had these opportunities, but there was COVID. Mm-hmm. And as an international student, I had to leave to get a new visa to come back to the US. I left, I went to Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, so the US embassy was closed, and every embassy in that region was closed. I started to apply for a job. Now I need to find a job. And I had at the time it was vaccination and COVID, and I had these quantitative skills, data analytics skills from Bush School, and I had these unique skills of data analytics, and it was job for someone helping on COVID vaccination. The Ministry of Health at the time wanted to vaccine so many people quickly. So I applied for this job with a UK-based organization, ACASOS, and they're similar to RAND in some way, like in that helping the government in that region. And I applied. They had a long interview process, but I was accepted as an associate to help the Ministry of Health. The time that I started to work Ministry of Health, they were able to vaccinate 405,000 individuals in a day. But these quantitative skills that I learned from school, and geospatial analysis, you have data analysis, all of that, I was able to see forecasts if we go with this trajectory, how much vaccines probably we end up in expire. Like it's a big issue at the time was vaccine expiration date. It was so close, and we wanted to quickly roll out and vaccinate as many individuals as possible at the same time, and making sure that we actually use these vaccines. And there was a big problem because there wasn't enough infrastructure to actually vaccinate so many people quickly. And I said, these vaccines are going to expire. We need to quickly find a solution. And then we came up with the idea of mass centers, building bigger centers to vaccinate more individuals. And the first, basically, these data analytics skills helped me to see, there's a risk of vaccine expiration. So we need to quickly do that. And then that was the initial. I presented, I remember, to the head of the vaccine department. I said, this is the situation, and we need to quickly find a solution for that. And he was surprised. He said, okay, what we should do? And then we talked with the Gavi, with the World Bank, with the ADB at the time to get funding and expand the program. And we quickly expanded that program. And we ended up vaccinating 85,000 individuals in a day, from that 4,500 to 85,000. And actually, we avoided that risk of vaccine expiration before using, and we used them 4 or 5 weeks ahead of that expiration date. And these data analytical skills. But situation in Afghanistan, as you know, wasn't stable, and things quickly changed. And the government collapsed. My wife, she was pregnant. She had to drive from another city to the capital with these bus for 20 hours or 26 hours, I guess. She was pregnant, 4-month pregnancy, and the General Mark Welch reached out at the time, and Dr. Justin Bullock from the Bush School. Mm-hmm. They really wanted to help us to get out of the country. I was surprised the support that I received from the school. And I'm, to this day and forever, I remain grateful for the support, tremendous support that I received from both my cohort, from professors, and especially from General Mark Welch. I mean, one reason I didn't know at the time that I'm so happy. I mean, one reason that people I meet sometimes should join the Bush School is the General Marquardt, honestly. Such a phenomenal human being. So we are in this, and we are hiding from the Taliban, and then General Marquardt texted us and helped us to get out of the country into the airport. And I think it was night in the US and it was day in Afghanistan. He was awake possibly the whole night to make sure that we get to the airport. We are inside the airport, huge explosion outside of the airport gate, and he was checking with us. I remember that we are close to this gate, and General Marquardt said, "Oh, maybe in a few minutes you hear shooting something. Just so I want to make sure that you're prepared for that, and I make sure that you tell Yelda, my wife, that probably she has soon some shootings, but they want to clear the way to help you to get into the airport. Some of these security guards." I told my wife, and in a few minutes, maybe you hear some shootings, but since you have a baby, be prepared for that. It's okay. Just they want to clear the way to get us into the airport. Taliban were, and we were like around the airport, but there was only one door which was controlled by the Afghan security forces at the time, and that was the only door we could safely get into the airport. So after a few minutes, some security guards came out of that and cleared the way, and we got into the airport. We are here today, and I'm doing this work. I have a daughter, and my wife and I, we have a daughter, Arvin. All of this happened. Part of that and all of that, honestly, is because of General Marquardt. And he saved our lives. And today, when I think about that, how the Bush School changed my life. And you see about that. I didn't know that this impact of the school in a way that somehow I ended up in a completely different situation, getting out of that chaos, that terrible situation, the Taliban and school and General Marquardt. I mean, I never thought about that in 2018 when I started the school, that I may end up in that kind of situation. The school is support me, stay behind me, and General Marquardt and Miss Betty Welch's wife. I mean, such phenomenal human beings. They helped us to get out of the country. And another thing that from the school, Dr. Justin Bullock, so the banking system didn't work at the time in Afghanistan, and he sent his credit card to me to make sure that if I need money at some point, I have that information. This is something probably I don't know how many times happened in this, and this happened in the Bush School. I don't want to name a school. I remember that there was another graduate next to me. We were working in the same office. He was from one of the most prestigious schools, a graduate of one of the most prestigious schools of the United States. And his school and the administration, none of them even texted something to him, to check in on him, to check on him, saying, what we can do for you. I was surprised. But the Bush School was different. I mean, these people, all the time, they were making sure that I'm actually getting to safety and freedom. And my daughter, the moment I landed here in the US, I recorded a message to her and said, okay, remember this country saved the life of your parents. And the Bush School, and General Marquardt, and Miss Betty Welch, and so many other people from the Bush School that helped us along the way. But you remember for this country that you remain grateful for many opportunities that this country will provide for you, and you should never forget this thing, that in one way or another, how you give back. We try to, as parents, give back to this country. We cannot in any way, but that sense of gratitude and being grateful for tremendous opportunities that we enjoy today is because of the Bush School and because of Dean General Marquardt and Miss Betty Welch. We are grateful for so many opportunities that the school provided for us.